crossing over where judgment awaited. Between the living and the afterlife, judgment waits. A spiritual wound opens after a storm crashed near Mercy Crossing, trapping the living, the dead, and the ones who return wrong. Not all ghosts are lost, not all souls are found. Podcast The Crossover. The road that vanished. A storm caused a bus crash near Mercy Crossing. Myra, Julian, Selena, Father Elise, Amani, Theo, and others crawled from the wreckage, but the highway is gone. The chapel appears where the road should be. Myra, where are the sirens? Julian, there should be sirens. Delia, I was recording everything. There's nothing on the tape. Roman, there's were never going to be a siren, not for this road. The keeper, the living always listen for rescue first. The chapel wall writes their names in wet ash. Chapter 2. The chapel that bleed. The group enters Mercy Chapel and finds 8 locked doors. Each door has a word carved into it. When Julian lies about recognizing the chapel, the wall begins to bleed. Julian, I have never been here before. The keeper. Then why does the building remembers your footstep? A child handprint appears in blood beside Julian's name. Chapter 3. Blood on Myra's hands. Myra keeps seeing blood on her hands. No one else can see. A patient she failed to save appears in the chapel aisle, accusing her of choosing fear over action. Myra, I tried to save you. Patient, you tried to save me? Roman, I made the same choice, different hands, same silence. Myra realized the blood is not from the crash. It is from the old Mercy Crossing tragedy. Chapter 4. The room that remembered. Theo opens a door by holding his breath. Inside, the group sees the old child running through the chapel years earlier, begging adults for help. Each adult turned away for a different reason. Theo, why can I hear him? Father Elias, because children do not stop calling just because adults stop answering. The child looked directly at Amani and said, you come back too early. Episode 5. The wound saw itself. The group finds the first truth chamber, the womb. It forces each person to relive the moment they choose fear, silence, denial, or self-preservation. The keeper. Judgment does not begin with punishment. Myra, then what does it begin with? The keeper. Recognition. The crash replays revealing someone stood in the road and caused it deliberately. A wound cannot heal while everyone pretends it is only a scar. Season 2. The Mirror. Reflection, denial, and self that judgment reveals. Mirrors appear across the crossing. They did not show faces. They show hidden choices, buried sins, alternate shelves, and truth the soul has avoided. Chapter 1. Faces in the Glass. Every mirror in the chapel begins showing a different version of each character. Celine sees herself old and alone. Julian sees himself wearing a judge robe covered in ash. Celine, this is not me. The keeper, no, it is the one of the people grief was turning you into. Amani reflection is missing. Chapter 2. The detective reflection. Julian is trapped inside a mirror room where he relives the investigation into Mercy Crossing. He finds the evidence he buried, a recording of a child asking for help. Julian, I was following orders. Reflection. Cowards love instructions. They make fear sound professional. Delilah, I printed those instructions. I made fear look like procedures. Reflection. Then you already owe this mirror something. Julian sees the person he protected standing beside the crash before impact. Chapter 3. Celine's dead husband. Celine's husband appears inside a mirror and begs her to break the glass so they can be together. Father Elias warned that not every familiar voice belongs to love. Celine, he sound like him, Father Elias. So would a trap made from your longing. The reflection smile before Selena does. Chapter 4. The Broken Confession. Father Elias enters the confession booth that has mirrors instead of walls. He hears the final confession he refused to give years ago after losing faith. Father Elias, I stopped believing a long time ago. The voice, no, you stopped forgiving God for not obeying you. The booth shows Father Elias kneeling in the crossing years before the crash. Chapter 5. The mirror broke the chain. Julian finally speaks the truth. The Mercy Crossing tragedy was covered up as he confessed. The largest mirror cracked and releases a trapped soul. Julian, I buried the evidence. Mara, who did you protect? Julian, the person who called it mercy. The released soul names Nora Vance as the woman who returned from death. Reflection is not punishment. It is the soul longing permission to lie. Season 3. The Chain. The crossing reveals chains connecting every character to old tragedy. Lies, vows, apologies, and unfinished death has linked them across the living world and the afterlife. Chapter 1. The Sound of Iron. Chains begin appearing around the chapter floor, connecting the group by ankle, waist, and shadow. Each chain burns when someone withholds the truth. Theo, why are we tied together? The keeper, because none of you failed alone. Roman, then why did I feel like the only one who knew what was happening? The keeper, guilt believes it was the only witness. Myra and Julian discover their chains are connected to the same child's name. Chapter 2. The Husband Behind the Door. Celine followed her husband's voice to a locked room. Inside the room shows their happiest moments and memories, then slowly removes every moment after his death. The voice, stay with me, Selena. You would never ask me to stop living, would you? The voice, then remember me less accurately. The voice revealed itself as a chained spirit wearing her husband's grief. Chapter 3, The Boy Beneath the Water. Theo hears water beneath the chapter floor. He remembers nearly drowning years ago, but now sees that moment is in crossing, pushed beneath back into his lungs. Theo, who saved me back then? The keeper, a soul who did not know saving you would trap her. Theo sees Nora trading her own crossing for his return. Chapter 4, The Chain Choir. The trapped ghost begins singing names of people who were never mourned properly. Amani light flickers each time a forgotten name is spoken. Amani, why does it hurt when they sing? Father Elias, because remembrance is heavy, because it becomes holy. Amani name appears among the dead names. Episode 5, Not All Ghosts Are Lost. The group breaks Selena free from the chained spirit by forcing it to speak its true name. The ghost was not her husband, but a forgotten victim from Mercy Crossing. Selena, you are not my husband. The ghost, no, but you answer when no one answered me. The ghost revealed the hidden child was not killed. The child was sealed inside the crossing. Grief can connect the living to the dead, but it can also become a lock. Season 4, Mercy. Father Elias becomes the center of the fourth truth. The crossing forces him to face the night he believed mercy failed, and the prayer he never finished. Chapter 1, The Prayer That Stopped. Father Elias heard a child praying. Echoes from the chapter altar. It is his own voice from years ago, stopping before the final word. The altar refuses to open until he completes it. Father Elias, mercy abandoned that child. The keeper, no. You mistook mercy for control. The altar opens and reveals Nora's cross buried in ashes. Chapter 2, The Room of Almost. The group enters and fills with almost rescuers. Confessions, almost apologies, and almost forgiveness. Every unfinished act becomes a living shadow. Myra, this room is cruel. Father is, no, it is accurate. Myra sees herself almost saving the child, but turning away when she hears sirens. Chapter 3, The Mercy Trial. The crossing stages a trial where each character must define mercy. Their answers create doors, but only Father Elias' answer opens the center aisle. Julian, mercy is reducing punishment. Selena, mercy is getting them back. Delia, mercy is telling the story without choosing who deserved to survive it. Father Elias, mercy is walking with truth when truth cannot be softened. Amani, lights turns the aisle gold, proving Father Elias has spoken the fourth truth. Episode Chapter 4, The Soul That Could Not Kneel. A violent spirit refuses judgment. claiming it deserved mercy without confession. The group realized the spirit has been feeding the wound. Spirit, mercy means I do not have to suffer anymore. Father Elias, no, mercy means suffering. It's not the end of you. The spirit wears Julian's protected face from the old case. Chapter 5. Mercy carry light. Father Elias finally complete the prayer he abandoned years ago. Amani, light fills the chapter and reveals the hidden staircase beneath the altar. Father Elias, mercy did not fail. I stopped looking for it when it did not obey me. Amani, then look now. The staircase leads to the chamber where Amani's body is waiting. Mercy does not cancel judgment, it carries the soul through it. Season 5, The Light. Amani learns she died in the crash. Her light becomes the key to exposing what happened at Mercy Crossing and why the crossing is still wounded. Chapter 1, The Body Below. The group finds Amani's body beneath the altar, preserving light. She denies what she sees, but every denial dims the chapter. Amani, is that you? Nope, that's not me. Mara, I'm so sorry. Amani, do not bury me while I'm standing here. How rude. Amani touches her own body and remembers dying before the bus stopped moving. Chapter 2, The Lantern Child. Amani light reveals the missing child from Mercy Crossing, trapped behind a wall of old prayers. The child carries a lantern because it has no shadow. The child. They said I was lost. Amani, were you lost? The child, no, I was inconvenient. The child recognized Noor as the one who opened the wrong door. Episode 3, The Life She Almost Lived. The wound tempts Amani with vision of the life she could have had if she survived. She sees love, age, children, and peace, but none of it casts a shadow. Amani, is this what heaven looks like? The keeper, no, it is grief trying on your future. Amani chooses truth over the false life, and her light burns open the 5th door. Chapter 4, The Hidden Child. Julian confesses the child was never found because the record was changed. Myra admits she did present at the hospital when the child should have been saved. Myra, I heard the call, but I ignored it. Julian, I erased the call and didn't answer the phone. Delia, I had the story. I buried it because the truth was inconvenient for everyone paying me. Amani, then all 3 of you kept the wound alive. The child lantern shows Noor standing between the child and the final door. Chapter 5, Light Enter Judgment. Amani accepts her death and becomes the light needed to enter the judgment hall. The chapter transforms into a courtroom made of windows, each one showing a buried truth. Amani, I wanted to live at first. Father Elias, that wish is not sin. Amani, then let it become light. Why not? The judgment hall reveals Theo's drowning was connected to Nora's return. Light does not erase death, it reveals what death could not destroy. Season 6, Breathe. Theo's gift becomes dangerous. His breath controls doors in the crossing, but every breath he takes pulls another soul closer to judgment. Chapter 1. The Boy Who Breathed Twice. Theo remembered drowning as a child and hearing a woman promise, "Take mine," in the crossing. He learns that his second breath came from someone who gave up their passage. Theo, I thought I survived this. The keeper, you did, but survival is sometimes shared. Roman, I was the paramedic that day. I choose to leave. Theo, then she gave me what you took from me. Roman, yes, and I have been carrying that ever since that day. Theo exhaled and opened the door directly into Nora's missing years. Chapter 2. The Lungs of the Chapel. The chapel began breathing. Walls expand and contract. Rooms open when Theo inhales and collapse when he panics. The group must keep him calm as trapped ghosts claws through the walls. Myra, please breathe with me slowly. Breathe with me slowly. Theo, what if something comes through and we don't know what is coming through? Myra, then we face it breathing. Simply breathing exercise. Theo breathed restored peace to one violent ghost, proving he could heal as well as open doors. Chapter 3. Nora's Missing Years. The group enters Nora's memory and sees her trapped in the crossing after the original tragedy. She found Theo drowning years later through a crack between worlds and gave him his return breath. Nora, he was my only child. My only child. Celine, so where you were when they left you here? I don't know. Nora did not return alone. Something followed her back into life. Chapter 4. The Debt of Air. The crossing demands repayment. Theo must choose whether to keep the breath Nora gave him or surrender it so Nora can finally cross over. Theo, if I give it back, do I die, in a sense? Nora, no. Fool, silly. Theo, how do you know? You don't know that. Nora, because mercy does not ask children to pay like thieves. Theo gave the breath back, but instead of dying, he released the thing attached to Nora. Chapter 5. Breath Restored Peace. Theo finally breathed of the season calm the chapter, releases several trapped spirits, and restores the sixth truth. The group could not reach the return door. Theo! Theo! I was scared. My life was borrowed. Borrow how? How can this be? The keeper. All life is borrowed. Yours was also blessed. The return door opened, and Nora's shadow steps through before she does. Breathe is not only survival, it is a proof that the soul has not finished speaking. Chapter 7. Return. Nora becomes the center of the seventh truth. The group learns that returning from the crossing can save a life, but it can also carry a wound back into the living world. Chapter 1. The Woman Who Came Back. Nora reveals she vanished years ago inside the crossing and returned unchanged. Her family believes she survived. In truth, she came back carrying a spiritual wound inside of her shadow. Nora, I thought return meant rescue. not something else. Father Ellis, sometimes return is only a door closing too quickly. Noah's shadow names the missing child as the first host. Chapter 2, the shadow that follows. The shadow separates from Noah and walks through the chapel wearing the faces of everyone who choose fear. It's calm. It only exists because they all made room for it. Shadow. I'm not evil. I swear, I'm not evil. Myra. Then what are you? With that creepy voice, what are you? Shadow. The shape of what you refuse to face. The shadow reveals the keeper has been hiding the final truth. Chapter 2, Return Completed Fear. The group revisit the original Mercy Crossing tragedy. Noah opens the room door while trying to save the child, releasing the womb instead of freezing the soul. Noah, what are you doing? I was trying to help, Julian. So was everyone. That is what makes this thing worse and the situation worse. Roman, I was the first responder at the original crossing. I left because I finished. There was no priority call. I invented one in a hurry. Delia, I knew that. I interviewed you 3 years later and never published it. Roman, why didn't you? Delia, because I was afraid the truth would destroy the story I had already written. The child was never the monster. The wound was created by everyone's fear around the child. Chapter 4. One of you never left. The keeper's silence began cracking. He avoids the child lantern and refused to enter the room of the return door. Amani realized he is not simple guiding them. He is bound to original crossing. Amani, yes, you know the way because you never moved. What? The keeper. Guides do not need destination. Amani. So what? So souls do? I don't understand. The keeper hood falls, revealing he is this lost soul everyone believes has crossed. Chapter 5. One of you are guiding the cross and the crossing and the crossover. Nora chooses to complete her return by crossing fully instead of remaining a doorway. Her shadow dissolved, the return door stabilized, and the keeper's forced to face the silent door waiting beyond. Nora, I came back because I was afraid to finish dying? What type of sense does that make? When I have done more dangerous things in my life living. The keeper, and now? Nora, now I am afraid and walking away. I can't take this no more. As Nora crosses, she whispered, he was guiding across me because no one guides him. Return is not healing unless the soul brings truth back with it. So this is a completion of season 1 through 7 crossover. And the moral of the story is the group has covered 7 truths: the wound, the mirror, the chain, mercy, light, breathe, and return. The living has confessed. The dead has been named. The false voices has been exposed. Nor crossing fully, the keeper is revealed as the soul who never left from the beginning. So the final truth remains is silence. Next time I'll begin season 8, we'll open with the keeper standing before the last door, no longer able to guide anyone else until he admits what happened to him at Mercy Crossing.